the stuff.
No, I'm coming, man.
Yeah, grab your notepad, man. For real.
I ain't got fuck it, man. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, Tom, turn that shit up in your ears, bro. We're about to get ready to go here, man.
Money pop, money talk. All they do is talk.
We gotta find something new for us if we're gonna keep doing this, man.
Go run, tell
All right.
40 yard dash time, Moss Money Podcast time, S.co headlines.
Hey, let's stop the music, man. Let's get right into it, man. I would let it run, but we running a little behind, man. I want to thank everybody for joining us, man. This is not Moss Money. This is just Moss. And we have MoneyPot presents to you Agreeing to Disagree with my guest, my homie, Tom Arnone. What's up, boy?
What's up, Nate? It's been a long time, man. We should have did this like 4 years ago. I don't know what took us so long.
Hey, we grinding, man. We got things to do, man.
Right?
So good to see you here, man. I'm glad that you could take time away to jump on with me. Hopefully we didn't mess up too bad early on, and hopefully we get a couple people here to watch us agree to disagree, man. How you like that pun I took on your show, man?
I love it. It's the best pun. That's a better pun than I've been able to put together.
Absolutely. So before we get into it, man, let's give just a quick bio since some of the people on my side of the house, some of the people who watch me don't really understand or know who A2D Radio is or who you are. So go ahead, give the people just a quick little bio about your platform, about your show, or a couple of shows that you do, and give the people what they want. Tell them who you are, Tom.
Yeah, Tom Arnone, A2D Radio. I don't know, man. Like everybody else, I got into this. I just wanted to talk sports. I wanted a platform. I went to school for it. It was sort of a waste of time. Long story short, I interned a couple places and was like, I can do this. So I just started it for like on-air experience, and then it just became more. And me and Chris, that just came up with some good ideas, and Agree to Disagree just felt like perfect because we can argue, we can scream. But like when we're talking sports, we're all family. It's not like we're talking politics. And people
now, Tom, let's slow down there, because I think I've seen a couple arguments and a couple of things. Let's go back to the old vet days. When the jailhouse was underneath, the stadium here. People can try and talk sports, but not a lot of people can talk sports. If you dig what I'm saying.
Oh, that's the truth. That's the truth. We see that right now in quarantine. Everybody became a podcaster. Everybody's going.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guys who probably should stop. So, so that's it. Like it just became something like, hey, we can yell and scream and be mad, like we did with all our friends growing up. Through high school, through college. Like, dude, we're gonna yell and scream at each other, but at the end, like, we're just gonna agree to disagree. We're just not gonna see eye to eye and move on. So it was just something. I thought would be fun to do, and then it turned into like having like 16 shows and just rocking and loving it.
Yeah, 16 shows. I didn't know you guys were that big.
Trying to be that big. Trying. Fake it till you make it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You see me, right? All right. So the point of this show was me and Tom got into a little bit across the social media. Tom had said something that kind of struck a nerve with me. So I said, okay, well, let's agree to disagree on this because I think Tom said something to the – what was it? What did you say?
Man, I say so many things.
Let me see if I can get the voice right live here. I don't need somebody else to tell me how to lose my money. All right. I love that part. That all right is key to you, man. So, so, we talked about how we can make this work. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a pun off Tom's kind of logo show, and we're going to talk about different sports topics. And we're going to agree pretty much to disagree, but we're going to take only one side of the house. So we came up with a couple of sports topics here, man. I wish I had do I have a coin down here? Let me see here. Ladies goes first there, Tommy. So I'm going to go with you. You can take the first topic here. So the first topic we have is, And I'll let you pick. You can either agree with it or disagree with it. And then if you agree with it, then do the whole slate. You're agreeing with everything. And if you disagree with it, then the whole slate, you're disagreeing with everything. And we're just going to flip flop back and forth through each of these topics. So the first topic I got on my list, man, is what are we doing? Are we trading James Harden if you're the Houston Rockets?
If I'm Houston, am I trading Harden, or if I'm the Sixers, am I trading for Harden?
No. If you're Houston.
If I'm Houston,
if you're Houston, what are you doing with James Harden? If you're Houston, are you agreeing to trade him, or are you disagreeing with that? And I'll be the bad cop on the other side.
All right, I'll agree. I think they're in no man's land right now.
Yeah,
this is a team that hasn't been able to get to the finals. As much as Harden's a great scorer, usually if you're that great, you're able to get your team over the hump one time.
Yeah,
and be either Golden State or the Lakers or somebody over in the West, and they haven't been able to do it. So, I mean, how long are you going to continue to try to put people with them? And that's not a shot on Harden. It's just that roster hasn't been good enough. Anybody they try to bring in there just hasn't worked. So I think they're in the now. Right now, it's hard to trade them, but I mean, I try to get what I can get before it's too late, because it's only going to get worse, because he'll make it worse, and that's not his fault. He wants out.
And I'm going to disagree with everything you just said, man. I ain't trading shit. You kidding me? I'm not going to get anything back for him. He showed up, 40 pounds, looking like Jason Peters, playing basketball, and guess what Jason Peters did last night in 44 minutes? Gave me 44 and 17 or 16 or whatever he had last night. They should have probably won the game if they were full strength with Wall. I think who else was out? Gordon, Cousins. I think the other guy named Jones. If they were full strength, they probably would have won that game last night. He is the franchise. He is the face. You stick with the beard. Everybody else can get the hell out the way. It don't matter if he's fat, skinny. He's going to give you a bucket. We're looking at the greatest, not the greatest, maybe, probably the best offensive talent we've seen in our generation. Probably top 5 best offensive talent we've ever seen, period. I'm not trading shit. I ain't getting rid of that.
Are you concerned that he's like a high volume shooter, doesn't play defense? Houston fans crush him for never playing defense. That concern you at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. Hero said he's a bucket. No. James Harden is a walking bucket. He's been a walking bucket from day one. He was in the shadow in the Thunder with Westbrook and Durant, and then when he got to Houston, he does what James Harden does. So I'm not getting rid of him, because I'm not going to give fair value. What did Holiday get when he went to? What did they trade Holiday for? It was like 2 first round picks, or a pick this year and then a pick 2 years down the line. What do you like? I mean, what the thing with Ben, right? It was with the Sixers. It was Ben and 3 first round picks.
Yeah, it was Ben.
It was bad, man. There's no way.
Ben and 3 first rounders. Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, we're not doing that. And I'm not a Ben Simmons fan. Actually, I don't like Ben Simmons. I think he's terrible. But I'm what Ben could be and what Doc's doing with the Sixers, and I like what they're doing with Sam Cassell. I think it came out that Sam Cassell is actually going to just work with Ben on his offensive game. Then he's going to let him play free. He's going to let him play within the game and stop trying to make him this shooter that everybody wants him to be. Then, I'm all for that. He gets you 15 and 10, and let me take that back. Ben can give you 15, 8 and 8 every night.
Every night.
Every night.
Every single night.
So Doc's looking at that and say, I can work with that. I can do something with that. And he's 6'10". I think he made a perfect comparison to him and Rondo. Now, I don't know if he's IQ smart like Rondo is, or what we've allegedly heard how smart Rondo is on the court. But from a defensive perspective, he can't shoot, but he gets buckets, he gets to the rim, and he knows how to pass the ball. I mean, he's a big-ass Rondo.
Yeah, and look what he does defensively. Last night, R.J. Barrett, I think, in game 1 dropped like 30 points or something. I mean, R.J. Barrett can score enough in this league.
Yeah.
And he holds him from 2 for 15 for 10 points. And
yeah, it's crazy.
And that's a difference maker. Like, he can guard Durant. There's nobody in the league that can guard Durant. And
I think you're right. There's nobody in the league that can guard Durant.
He's the only one, right? And I'm not saying he can even guard him. I'm just saying he might be able to slow him down. So that's why, like, everybody's I see this morning everybody's in Sixers groups say, I got to trade him. Harden had 44 last night. But, like, I like James, but James also gave up 44 to Lillard or McCollum or whoever. So, like, what he scored on the offense and he gave up when you talk about Ben, I think what you said, Ben had 15 last night. But
something like that. I had to look it up.
He gave up 10, right, Nate? So he only gave up 10. So he's a +5 there. But the bigger thing is the guy went 2 for 15.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't put Barrett in, Lillard or oh man, I would have traded Ben for McCullough though, for CJ for sure. CJ's smooth, man. His offensive game is real smooth, and it's getting uglier.
CJ is smooth though.
CJ is smooth as shit. All right, next topic, man. Looking at the game last night, man. What are we doing here, man? Fitz or Tua?
It's got to be Fitz, right? Like, I mean, I know he throws a lot of so I'm going Fitz because I know he throws a lot of interceptions at times, but, like, you got to be able to push the ball down the field a little bit. And Tua just doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. And not saying he can't be good down the road, but right now he doesn't look good. He doesn't look confident in his decision-making. They don't push the ball down the field at all. And then what do teams do? I mean, they didn't play the 85 Bears last night. They played the Raiders, and it looked like they couldn't do anything. And Fitzy comes in, and typical Fitz magic, they drive the ball down the field, 2 times or 3 times?
Yeah.
And I think it was 3 times. So you're talking about three scoring drives, and 3 drives he was in, and you could just see the magic work. And then they make that throw to Hollins. But I know they came out this morning and said Tua is starting next week, and I know they're not.
Is he really?
Yeah, and it's mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling. I know you don't want to hurt the kid's confidence, but you're also trying to win games.
Yeah, trying to get the playoffs here.
Yeah, and you built your defense to win now. Like, honestly, like, they built their defense this offseason to be in this conversation they're in right this second.
Right. So I'm not fucking with Fitz, man. I'm going Tua here. If you think about it, we drafted Tua in the first round. What did Tua go? 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah. We drafted Tua fifth pick in the draft. We know what Fitz is. This is what Fitz does. This is why we call him Fitz Magic. This is what he does. He comes in, he does his little sprinkle dust, and then boom, you think you got something, but there's a reason he's been a journeyman for years. There's a reason. I would want to say he's been a career backup in a stopgap guy. You know what? I'm gonna put Tua in for 3 quarters and put Fitz in for the 4th quarter, man, and rock it out, man. That's just how we're going to win games. Okay.
Do I agree with you? Like, can I come on that side and be like,
no, stay your ass over there. You can't come on this side. We're staying on opposite sides. I'm going with the future and the future franchise quarterback, man. I love Fitz. He's good for the locker room, but stick your ass on the pond, dog. All right, next one.
Fair.
We got Doc Rivers. Is Doc Rivers the missing piece for the Sixers?
You want me to go first on this one?
Yeah, I can go.
Go ahead. Go. You go first.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. Okay. So, is Doc Rivers the missing piece for the Sixers? I'm going to say he is. We've always complained about Brett Brown. We've always complained that we had the tools here to win. Now, outside of a triple doink or a triple dank bounce from Kawhi, we could be talking about Broad Street for the Sixers. Not saying that it would have happened, but obviously there was a really good chance that it could have. So we look at the Sixers and coaching different lineups. It just hasn't worked. We've seen it. We haven't been good since Larry, and Larry was good because we had AI, who, in my opinion, is the best pound for pound player to ever play the game. So then if you look at AI's supporting cast, it just I want to say it just worked, but he was also dropping 35 a fucking night, right? You know what I'm saying? And we don't have that. Embiid's not there yet, in my opinion. Embiid's going to get there, hopefully, if he keeps progressing. But he has been dominant in times, but he hasn't been dominant consistently like the big guys that we have. We need a veteran coach. We need a coach who's seen it. We need a coach who knows how to manage young players. We know a coach who knows how to manage veteran players. We need a coach who can manage stars. Doc Rivers is everything in that. I think Doc Rivers is the missing piece to bring a championship here to Philadelphia in the 76ers.
Man, you want me to disagree with that one?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll spin it. I'll disagree because I'll say I think the veterans are right. I think the additions of a guy like Dwight Howard, I think the additions of a guy like Danny Green, the additions of Seth Curry, right there, them three veterans, and in this league, you need vets to win. Young guys don't win in the NBA, and us as Sixers fans and other fans around the league, you get a first pick of the draft and you're expecting you want to win in the next 3 years, and it's just not realistic. Ben Simmons is 23, Joel Embiid's 26. You needed veterans around there. I think the best thing and the missing piece was Dwight. I can't believe I'm saying this but Dwight Howard for Joel Embiid is a bigger impact than Al Horford was for Joel Embiid, and that's 2 games in. And Dwight Howard's impact for Ben Simmons, and I think Danny Green's impact on this roster. I think Seth Curry's impact on this roster. Just have some vets, and the 2 vets that have won, and Danny Green and Dwight Howard, I think are so important for the kids. And I'll piggyback. Not going with Doc and saying this staff was a big time missing piece too, because Brett Brown maybe had one NBA guy on his bench and they would usually get a job. Like the guy who went to Atlanta, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you're talking about.
Like that was a good coach. Good
yeah.
guy, good coach. Now you have a whole bench full of guys who could be NBA coaches. Like Sam Cassell, the guy from Indiana. I mean, the whole bench is loaded with guys that are really good. So I'll say they're the missing pieces, and not Doc.
I hear that. Nice. I like that. Nice spin on it. All right, here's a good one. I'll let you go first. Howie Roseman as a GM.
I disagree. I mean, I couldn't disagree more, and then we're still gonna find our way into the playoffs somehow. But
we are. We talked about that. They're gonna run. They're gonna make a run, and they're gonna get in the playoffs.
They are.
Yeah.
I just disagree because everything he's done is came back and bit him. Like Jalen Hurts can be the greatest pick in the second round of all time, hypothetically down the road. It doesn't make up for all the mistakes. Like nothing you've done is made up for all the mistakes. You use the second pick of the draft for Carson Wentz. If you didn't like him or didn't love him, you should have drafted Jalen Ramsey then. You should have drafted somebody else then in that spot then if he wasn't your guy. And you're telling me in 5 years he goes from being your guy to not being your guy? That's just one example. The constant misses. I'm not saying Jalen Reagor is a miss, but I mean, there's other guys that were drafted in the first round, second round that have way more production, right? Then I piggyback that over to the miss on JJ in the second round. Forget DK. There's other players that can play in the second round that are impactful for their team while one guy's a healthy scratch every week. I mean, it's becoming a joke. The only thing the guy drafts well are offensive, defensive linemen, and that's it. That's it. So keep him there. Keep him for the cap. But I'm done with Howie Roseman. I appreciate the Super Bowl, but I'm tired of nerds handling my day-to-day.
Shout out to Brandon Graham, man, because everybody hated me when we took Brandon Graham. Got his first Pro Bowl nod, man. The oldest wonder, man, still getting money.
Well deserved.
BT. I'm going to agree here, man. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to ask you this one question, and I just need a nod. Would you trade it all for that Super Bowl? Was it worth it? It cost us everything. Because that's Howie. Right. That is what Howie did for this city. It was worth every single thing. Everything we bitch about the Eagles, everything we bitched about Andy, everything we bitch about Doug, everything we bitch about Carson Wentz, even though he doesn't deserve it, just needed to add to that pun in there. Everything that we complain about this goddamn organization, it was fucking worth it because we were all on Broad Street acting a damn fool and we were all fucking happy. That speech was legendary. That parade was legendary. Everything about that film, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it right now. Everything about that day was magic and it was fucking worth it. Just like Thanos and he sacrificed everything. That's how I look at this. It was worth everything. It cost us everything, and it was worth it all. I fuck with you, Howard. You brung a championship home to this city.
Listen, I mean, how do you argue that? I'm just in a bad mood, Nate. I've been talking about this team 7 days a week.
I understand. I know
for the last 5 weeks, and I feel like it's Groundhog's Day every single week. The last 2 weeks have actually been a breath of fresh air, though.
Yeah, no, it's the first game that he got in, and he started to turn. I was like, okay, everybody relax, right? And then when he did it the second game, and then they're doing everything that makes them the Eagles, right? Rollouts, screens, playing good defense, getting that excitement. He put up Michael Vick Washington numbers last game. You know, we haven't seen it, and I didn't think his game was going to be this good. Right, I didn't think his game would translate into the NFL from what I saw, especially from people remember Oklahoma, but let's not forget Alabama. He put some numbers, and we saw how he played in Alabama. Not saying that he can't progress, but I didn't think that. And I talked about this on Friday, and like you said, and this is why I didn't want to do an Eagle show with you, because we talk about this shit every fucking week, and it gets repetitive, and we find ourselves end up going that way anyway. But at the same time, when I look at Jalen Hurts, I'm still a Carson Wentz fan. I haven't jumped off the Wentz wagon. Everybody else is on the motherfucking Jalen Hurts train. I'm still on the old wagon that's still coming on the sideline with Carson Wentz. I don't think he forgot how to play football. We destroyed our franchise quarterback mentally. He's shot at this point.
Nate, you play college football?
Yeah, sure.
You play. You played at a high enough level. I mean, even if guys played high school football, they understand it. Like, I played a little bit of quarterback when I was younger. So just that little sample size, I can tell you, if I'm getting beat up and I'm not trusting stuff, I'm going to stink. And it's that simple. And the guy got beat up. He's punch drunk. And the best thing they could do for him is sit him down, let him breathe, come back next year, try to get his job back. But I completely agree with you. I'm not done with him yet. Not yet. And I agree with the Hurts thing too. Like, and Lincoln Riley is the best thing to happen to Jalen Hurts, because I don't think if he goes to Oklahoma and learns how to throw the football a little bit more, I don't think he's having his success right now.
And if you think about it, also the worst thing I think the thing that people don't recognize is that after that second game, Jalen Hurts already won the city. So the city's already turned on Wentz.
Yeah.
Right? The city's already turned on Wentz. And once we turn on you and we got that nice little new shiny penny that we see, it's over. You can't do anything. You have to win a Super Bowl now. I mean, that's the goal. But for any of your casual fans that would welcome Wentz back with open arms, there's two things. He would either accept being a backup, which real football fans would hate, because I would never accept being a backup. And then two, he would have to come in and win big, just like he did in his MVP season. But like you said, very redundant. We've said it a million times.
So I'd like to talk to somebody else about it. You know what I mean? Like it's like to hear somebody else's thoughts on it that actually agree with me. I mean, everything you said was spot on. Just, not thinking Hurts would do this well, this quick. And then the fact that he looks better than Tua. Like, this is 2020 is crazy. 2020 is nuts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And we'll get to there too. Next one. What is your? Do you agree or disagree with the handling of COVID through sports at this moment?
The NBA did it great. I mean, I'll continue to give the NBA a ton of love. I'll give Adam Silver a ton of love. The NBA is always one step ahead of everybody. I thought what the NBA did with the bubble was a great job. And then obviously the NHL followed. The one I don't think did well, and I'm not going to run from this, I don't think the NFL did well. So I'll say I'll disagree because because of the NFL. I think the NFL thought they were bigger than everything that was going on in 2020. They had the longest time to prepare for this. And I understand there's tons of people on NFL staffs. All right, I get it. There's tons of players. You hurt teams like the Ravens this year. You hurt other teams because of this, right? And now look at, you're talking about Cleveland today has one wide receiver available to play. It's a freaking joke. It's a disgrace. You could have bubbled them off, right? You could have bubbled it in some fashion, right? They decided that they're bigger than the world and they can do whatever they want because they have NFL money. And listen, I get it. It's worked. You're almost at week 17. I understand it, but you better bubble your playoffs off, or you're going to hurt your product. If Patrick Mahomes misses a playoff game because of COVID, then what? You know what I mean? Then you ruin the whole season because of that. Or Lamar Jackson, he already missed, so he's not going to miss again. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of these big time players misses because of COVID in the playoffs. We got a problem on our hands.
So on the other side of that, then I'll agree with it then. So I agree with it because it's all about player safety at the end of the day. That's what we care about, right? And I think that for what they have now, there obviously been mistakes, and they've learned from those mistakes. Obviously, we had the NBA bubble, and who was it? Who tried to sneak in some buns in the NBA bubble during the playoffs?
Lou Williams.
Sweet Lou tried to sneak in some buns, man. So, from a mental standpoint, I think that some of these guys that are used to some of their lifestyles that they had probably took a hurt in here. But I think that I think the last what was it? Oh man, who was it? Was it NBA or was it the NFL? I think it might have been the NBA. I think only 2 people out of 500 people tested positive out of the players for COVID, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think it was the NBA, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the NBA. So when you take a look at that, and then how we still have football, even though those players on Cleveland are out, and it kind of hurts the products. I mean, they're going against the goddamn, was it the Jets?
Yeah.
They don't need they don't need those players anyway. You know what I mean? They get their pass out. I agree with it. Good call. Make sure your players are safe. We are still in a pandemic, even though us young folks don't give us 2 shits about it.
I mean, it's well said. Well said on the other side, though. I mean, credit to all these professional sports on that side. They've done a great job of testing their players. They've all had good protocols in place. Even though I disagree with it, I got to give some credit to them doing a good job, and player safety is definitely a priority. Even though guys have missed. So,
all right. So next one, man, going right back into the well with the Eagles, man. I think we kind of talked about this already, but we're going to get a little bit more deeper, man. For you, draft pick or the playoffs?
Oh, playoffs. I always say, like, the nerds look to April. You know what I mean? If I'm in it and I have a chance to make it, I always want that opportunity. I always want it. And I'll never turn down that opportunity if I have 3 wins or 10 wins. It doesn't matter. If I got a chance to get in the dance and have playoff football here, I'll never turn it down. And I'll cry next year. I'll cry in May about how I didn't have a top 10 pick. But I don't want to be that team. And I don't want to be the team that's always drafted in the top 10. I don't want to be that team. I want to be the gold standard. And, this would be a gold standard year, but I want the playoffs, right? If I win a playoff game, it's all worth me getting in, right? If I win a round, it's worth me getting in. So,
all right, Tom, I hear you, man. Damn, that was the side I was going to go with. Damn, how am I going to defend this draft pick? Shit, because we're going to drop if we make the playoffs. Where we at, like 8 or 7 right now?
7, yeah, 7, I think.
How do I defend the draft pick?
I get you need you need talent. We need talent. I mean, that's an easy way to start defending it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need talent, but we need high end talent, right? Not back end talent, right? So I'm trying to think of a way here to defend the draft pick versus the playoffs, because I'm a win guy. If you can get a chance to get to the dance, you get to the dance. Any given Sunday, we're all 0-0 in the playoffs. So
Well, how many Pro Bowlers do we have, Nate, that are drafted here?
All right, here we go. Yeah, so we'll stick with that then. So we need talent, right? If you look at this team and you look at them from top to bottom, right, we don't have any fucking stars. We don't have not one star on either side of the field. Let me take that back, because I think Slay is a star. I think he's our only bright star, because he's played lights out. Now, he went through a rough patch there, but he also went against Adams. He went against Metcalf. I'm trying to think of the third guy he went against that was a top 5 almost receiver.
Adams. Did you say Adams?
I said Adams. I said Metcalf, and there was another guy in there. I forget who. What was it? Julio? No, it wasn't Julio. I'll look it up real quick. But thinking of we need talent. and we need talent fast. Now, can we would hope to get top 10 talent, but that's why we have Howie. He's done it before. He's put players in positions. We've won a Super Bowl without big time talent, right? It just all worked well. It was, they want to say it was maybe lightning in a bottle. Maybe the fuck it was. Maybe it was. Maybe Nick Foles, and the only person I call Big Dick Nick, maybe Big Dick Nick came out here and was just slanging it. And it was lightning in a bottle, the stars aligned, and we got it done. Okay? So I'll take the draft pick. I'll take talent. You need talent to win games at the end of the day. It can be scheme and all you want, but you still need talent. So I'll take the draft pick on that kind of – damn, man. That was kind of weak. Out of all these, that was the weakest one. I don't like losing. Next. All right, here we go. Here we're going to keep it Eagles, man. I like this one. Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott? Yeah. Yeah.
Give me.
Yeah.
I'm staying with Carson.
Staying with Carson?
Yeah, I can't. Listen, it's a terrible year. It's atrocious, okay? There's no way of running from it. But the other guy's hurt, right? So, the best ability is availability too. So we talk about Carson being banged up and all this other stuff. Well, Dak's hurt right now. And I think Dak's turned himself into a good quarterback, but I'm not gonna run from what I think Carson Wentz is and can be still. I'm not gonna run from that. I feel like my eyes don't lie. I mean, they have in the past, but I've seen too much good to say now 1 year and then quit on it and then flip-flop back to saying Dak is the better quarterback when this whole time I've been pretty clear that it's Carson, and not just because I'm an Eagles fan, just because it's just the eye test on it. So I'll go Carson.
Damn, you're going to make me really defend a fucking Cowboy. All right, I'm going Dak Prescott, man. And I'm going Dak because the simple reason here, he plays within the system. He plays within the system. He's not coming up to the line. He's not checking everything. He trusts the coach. He trusts the system. And he plays within the system. And that's why I'm going with Dak Prescott. I don't know what Carson Wentz's deal is. I don't know all of a sudden, because we've heard Peterson come out and say, hey, I'm calling these plays. He's seeing something else. So we have to go back at that and go look at it. He's, protecting his quarterback. But obviously where there's smoke, there's fire. Carson's doing, I want to say that he's doing his own thing. We've heard rumors of him doing his own thing. We've heard rumors of bad habits at practice. How much of that is true? I don't know. I don't have any type of intel. But we've heard the rumors about some of this stuff already. So I'm going with the quarterback who's following directions, who's not only being a leader, but he's following, leading by example, by following the coaching staff, following the scheme. And I get him for a discount too. He's going to become cheaper than – well, actually, no, not now. When they signed Wentz was a deal. But now Dak probably is going to still break the bank if he comes back from that injury. So
isn't it funny that we're having this that we can actually have that conversation, and you can make the case for probably the first time in 5 years, right? That Dak might be the better of the two. Isn't that nuts though? For the first time in 5 years, it's actually a conversation, and the one guy's hurt, but it's actually a conversation that we can literally have, which I just think's amazing.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the injury thing because Dak really hasn't been hurt, but Wentz has. So, but Wentz showed me last year that, I think it's funny. People think he's been hurt, but I think when I looked at the numbers, he's only been hurt. He was hurt the one season, the MVP year, and then another season he was hurt a couple games. But other than that, out of the 5 years he's been playing, he hasn't really been that hurt. But last year, he didn't have anybody, and he put this team on his fucking back. You know what I mean? And
how fast we forget, right?
Yeah, and he played all games. So, I think that, I don't think he's as injury prone as people say he is. All right, we're going to end it up, man, and close out the show after this, man. Last one. Are you taking 2020 or are you taking another or 2021?
repeat that one again. Am I taking 2020 or
Yeah.
am I saying no?
Everything is going on this year. So would you know everything that's happened this year? And we're getting close to the end of the year here. So you've known everything that's happened this year so far. Obviously, you lived it. You had maybe growth, bad, good, etc., etc. Are you going with the known? Or are you going with the unknown as we go into 2021? Because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, anything could be, anything's better than 2020." But at the same time, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So, are you going with the unknown or known? Because if you think about it from a business perspective, I'm not sure what you guys' numbers are, but if you guys set back for when you started in 2020 and where you are now, I'm pretty sure your viewership and a lot of things have changed for you guys going up.
This is the toughest question because like I can get like personally about it where like, hey, I got a child coming in 2021.
Oh, so shit, congrats. I forgot about that, man.
So I could go that way. Thanks, Nate. I could go that way, but I'm going to say that like everything that happened in 2020, as much craziness that happened, like it grew my business. So not in a selfish way, just in a way like, hey, I got through it. I worked. I was able to still coach. I was able to still do the things that I was planning on doing this summer, right? In terms of working. But like when everything happened, like like I had a studio. So like I spent all this time building out a studio in my garage, which is a great man cave anyway. But I spent all this time, and long story short, I was like, what are we going to do? Like when everything happened. And we used to use that one of these types of programs in the past. And within 3 days, we were up and running and everybody's streaming from their house. More guys able to come on. So much easier for everybody that does shows here. It allowed me to add more shows from further away. It just made everything easier in terms of streaming and giving, like, you know what I mean? And giving us a place to talk to people. It just, I'll take the growth of A2D. I'll take 2020, even though it's a crazy ass year. I'll take 2020.
You selfish bitch.
That felt selfish. Like I was saying that. I'm like, this feels selfish.
It is selfish. It is. It's cool. It's all good. All right, I'll go on the other side of that. I'll take 2021. 2020 has been an absolute shit year. 2021, I'm looking for a fresh start, new beginnings. When things have been really cloudy and doom and we've been cooped up, I need to get outside. We need to get to the bars. We need to be with other Eagles fans. We need to talk our shit in person and not through a screen. Like you call these nerds over here. Well, these nerds got big muscles behind the screen. These nerds got a big mouths and talk a lot of shit when they're typing keyboards. I think Drake said it best. Twitter fingers become trigger fingers. You know what I mean? So I like 2021. I think new things on the horizon, big things coming. 2020 was the setup. 2021 is the execution. Let's go. Hey, Tom, man, I appreciate you jumping on here, man. I like the flow of what we just did here. Hopefully, we get some feedback. Hopefully we get some see where it can go from here, man.
Listen, I can't thank you enough for having me on, Nate. Like I said, it's long overdue. Hey, one more agree disagree before we roll. I got one. Chris Lyons is the worst roommate of all time. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to agree. Actually, no. I'm not. I'm going to disagree. I'm going with my guy Lyons, man. He kept me on my toes. And anytime that you had a bad day, he had something. He said, "Let's go out and drink." That was his answer. That was his answer. You know what he reminds me of? You ever see the replacement players like Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the kicker. Ole, 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 ole. That's Lions to me.
Be careful saying kicker on here. He'll get triggered. We don't want him getting triggered.
I didn't think he was a good kicker. I just said he was a kicker. Yes.
I can't thank you enough, brother. Like I said, long overdue.
Yes, sir.
We'll get you over on some A2D stuff. Like I said, I'm doing shows almost every day. So whenever you're free, come on over. Let's muck it up again. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming on. For everybody who's on, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. If you haven't hit Tom stuff up, just Google search A2D Radio. It'll fucking pop up. It's shit is like fucking ESPN at this point. You know what I mean? So you'll find it everywhere, man. Tom, Moss Money, thanks for joining, man. Agreeing to disagree. We out.